Man with a Camera. Starring Charles Bronson.
Edwards Air Force Base, where the United States Air Force tests its hottest aircraft, the jet-powered X-planes. And I'm Mike Kovac, freelance still photographer, here in the middle of the California desert for a photo layout on their hottest pilot, the man in that plane right there. Major. Major Dixon?
Yes.
I'm Mike Kovac.
Oh, yes, they told me you were coming. A picture layout on a test pilot, huh?
That's right. In fact, I've already started. Got the most exciting shots first.
Oh, I think you'll find the most exciting part is up there, when they release the ship from the B-50. I'm going up again in a couple of days, and you're cleared to go with me. In the mother plane, that is.
Oh, you had me worried for a minute.
What can I do to help in the meantime?
Nothing. Just let me tag along for the next couple of days.
Sure.
You know, frankly, I'm more interested in photographing the man than the equipment. You're a special sort of a guy, Major.
The only thing special about me is my fiancée. You'll have to meet her.
I'd like to. Maybe I can buy my way into one of your dinner dates, photograph the two of you together. You know, tomorrow or the next day.
Fine. Have to be a late afternoon dinner, though. My day starts at 4 a.m.
I'd like you to leave the setup for a while. I want to get a couple more shots during dessert.
With my screwy hours, we always have to eat before the crowds, Mike.
What price fame, Major?
Is that all?
Well, I want to get a couple shots during dessert.
When does the photographer eat?
With her help. Oh, I'm not really hungry. Besides, I want to get you back to the base and tucked in bed first.
You better hit the sack yourself. You gotta make that flight with me in the morning. I have to be up by 4.
Oh, I'll be there.
Let's meet at the officers' club for coffee and then go on down operations. It's all right. Sit down, Liz. Liz.
I don't want you to fly, Sandy. Let him take pictures of somebody else.
The pictures are only incidental. It's a scheduled test flight.
I don't want you to go up, and you know why. Please. Please, Sandy.
It's my job, honey.
I don't want your job. I want you.
The job is part of me. Well, you see, way up there's hardly any atmosphere. The aircraft doesn't handle in the ordinary sense. Thrust and direction come from the rockets. Today we're going to try a slightly different fuel composition.
You going to try for a new altitude record?
Well, that's not the purpose, but if it happens, it happens. This plane's already been in excess of 120,000 feet, but I still think it's got a little more in it. What do you say, Mike? They say it's going to be 110 this afternoon. We'll go for a swim, huh?
Sure, darling.
Would you like me to fix it up for you at operations? You can see them track me and listen to me talk to chase planes.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think I'll stay right here.
All right. I'll see you later. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Go on with your story.
You see, with only 5 minutes of fuel, it'd be impossible to test the capabilities of this ship if we had to take off from the ground. So they've adapted a B-50 as a mother plane. Now, this model's too big, but they'd tie on like so. Then I get a ride up to 30,000 feet.
Then you're on your own, huh?
Well, except for 3 chase planes, radio communications, telemetering, and space positioning. Outside of that, nothing.
Except Liz?
Mike, I guess you think I was pretty rough on her, making her come out here. I want you to know that this is for her benefit, not mine. Now, we love each other, sure, and I want to marry her. But I love this, too. I want to get her fears settled now, before we're married. I've seen too many flyers put it off. Well, let's go, huh? I bet you thought these went out with the Model T, huh? Oh, no, Mike, come on.
Well, it's part of the story.
Joe?
Yeah, 1 minute, Major.
You know, Liz seemed a little bit worried when we left her.
Well, she's got her problems, too. She's had bad luck with the men in her life. Oh, she's never been married. It's her brother and her father. See, her brother was 18 and wanted to leave school and enlisted in the Marines. Well, she advised him to go ahead. He fell off a truck during training and was killed.
I'm beginning to see.
And then her father on top of it. She was up at college and got into some little difficulty. Stayed out too late on a date or something. Anyway, she sends her father an SOS and he comes racing up there and turns his car over on the road.
So she figures her love is a curse, huh?
It's become an obsession.
You all set, Major?
Oh, yeah, Joe. Mike, this is Joe Garr, our personal equipment man.
I met Joe yesterday. How
Yeah.
are you, Joe?
This is the first tailor-made suit I've ever had, Mike.
Yeah, it's got to be fitted to a 1/4-inch tolerance all around.
Else I don't stay in one piece up there. I have to be nice to this guy, Mike. If he doesn't like you, wow.
Mechanics have been working for hours, getting the X-2 slung into place beneath the giant B-50. Getting the X-ship fueled with liquid oxygen and alcohol. Major Dixon even had to prepare his lungs for this flight. It is called pre-breathing. For an hour, he had to put oxygen into his system and force nitrogen out.
You okay, Major?
Roger.
Then finally, the countdown of a long checklist was done, and the crew and I climbed aboard. But Sandy's girl waited on the ground and watched.
Southwest 7, clear for takeoff. Item 14, check. Front panel camera on.
Ready for cockpit check, Pete.
Okay, Dad. Oxygen pressure normal. System switch on. Pressure demand regulator on.
Check. Emergency temperature off.
Off, check.
At 30,000 feet, Sandy went to his X-ship, hanging in the converted Bombay, and got into the cramped pilot's compartment. Shooting my pictures from the Bombay door, I was just above Sandy and would be directly over his line of flight when he was released from the mother ship. They lowered the plastic canopy over Sandy.
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, come
And away he went. Too inexperienced to realize it, but the men in the plane and the trackers on the ground knew that something had gone wrong.
Captain Shaler wants to talk to you. It looks like Sandy's down someplace. We lost radio contact with him 94 seconds after release. The third chase plane didn't see him at the rendezvous. They're still trying to raise him. Both space positioning and telemeter lost him, too.
What about radar?
Space positioning is radar plus. They saw he was way off flight plan. He was in almost a vertical dive when they lost him.
What chance has he got?
He had only 5 minutes of fuel.
No, I mean to get out.
If he ejected the capsule, one of the chase planes would have spotted the chute. Surely space positioning would have tracked it.
We'll try air operations. Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah? Well, what about the choppers? All of them? Yeah. Well, let me know the minute you hear something. Good.
Is there any word yet?
They've got the whole rescue service out. He might have landed on a dry lake.
How much chance is there of that?
It's a chance.
There's girls on the base, too.
I know.
Who tells her? The Air Force?
Well, it's difficult. She's not next of kin, Mr. Kovac.
Somebody's got to tell her. Me?
You know her.
All right. I guess she's still at the Officers Club.
I'll get a staff car to have him take you over.
Dead, isn't he?
Liz, he's down someplace, lost.
He's dead.
You know, they have the rescue service out. Oh, I'm so sorry, Liz.
So am I.
Liz.
I'm all right, Mike. I'm not gonna cry. I cried last night, all night. And I cried after he went up. It's getting so I can do my crying in advance.
Well, come on, I'll drive you home.
Thank you very much, Mike. You've been very kind.
I just can't leave you. Would you like me to do something for you?
No, nothing.
Maybe you want me to get somebody over for you, huh? Somebody you'd like me to call?
Oh, no. There's no one to call.
Well, are you sure?
I don't have anyone anymore. No one to call me. You know, he always knew how worried I was when he was flying. So, when he landed, no matter what time or where he was, he'd call. But he won't call anymore. Will he?
Liz, Sandy told me about you and your family. You mustn't think that this is all your fault. You're not to blame.
Mike, if it happened once, it could have been an accident. Twice a coincidence, but 3 times. It's me. Now, I'd like to be alone. I want you to go, Mike.
Well, I just can't leave you alone.
All right. If you really think I need somebody, my neighbor is Mrs. Burns. She's down the hall, apartment 602.
Mrs. Burns?
Yes, Mrs. Burns.
All right, I'll let him know. Burns?
Yes.
My name is Mike Kovac. I just drove Miss Howell home from the Edwards Air Force Base. Her fiancé was in an aircraft accident this morning.
The Major?
Yes.
Was he killed?
Liz? Liz?
What's happened?
Liz, open up. I'm afraid of what she might do. Does the manager have a pass key?
I don't know.
Please, Liz. Is there another door?
No. You can look in through our apartment. It's right across the way.
Liz. Unlock the door, Liz. Liz! Please, Liz, it's not your fault. You had nothing to do with it. Do you understand me, Liz?
Shall I call the police?
Not yet. Liz, you've got to think this over. It's not your fault. Now, please, close the windows. That's it. Now the other one. Close it. Wait, Liz! How do you know he's dead?
I know. I killed him.
No, he's not, Liz. Believe me.
Just stay. Stay where you are, Mike. You don't come near me or I jump.
Liz, make sure. How do you know?
I just know. I knew before he went up.
You just thought you knew it.
I killed my father. I killed my brother, and now Sandy. I don't want to take any more lives.
Well, listen. Give it 24 hours. A day. Find out.
Hey, what is this?
tenants calling up, people hanging out of windows.
Stay in there.
Listen, the manager's away and I'm responsible.
You stay in there.
I've got to stop causing trouble. I've got to stop causing trouble.
No, you're not, Liz. Liz, baby, he's alive. Don't you want to know? He needs you.
Listen, I'm responsible here. I gotta call the cops. Where's the phone?
Don't you do that. She might try to jump.
What do you think she's gonna do anyway?
Don't call.
I guess somebody beat me to it.
Listen, you go stand by her door. Don't let them break it down, you hear? Go.
I just cause more and more trouble.
No, Liz, there's just a fire someplace.
No, there's no fire. It's me. It's me, and I don't want to cause any more trouble, Mike.
Mrs. Burns? Where's your phone?
In the bedroom.
You know her number? Well, look it up. Or ask information. But call her and let the phone ring. Let it keep ringing.
Yes.
Liz, listen.
It's for me, Mike. There's no fire. It's me. It's just me.
Give it a day. Just 24 hours. Maybe there's a chance.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Liz, listen to me, please.
I'm very, very sorry. It couldn't.
Who else could it be?
I know he's dead.
Well, who would call? Nobody would call. You told me that. It's easy to find out. Liz, wait. It's not Sandy.
Give it to me. Please.
Liz! Liz! Liz, are you there?
Sandy, are you all right?
Oh, the electrical system failed. I didn't have any radio, so I went way off course.
Oh, Sandy. I was so scared. Darling, you're not hurt?
No, I set it down on a dry lake and waited for the helicopters to find me. Honey, I hope you didn't have too rough a time.
Well, I did, but Sandy, I'm all right now. Nothing's ever gonna bother me again. It is. It's all right now.
I can't get this number. It's been busy since I tried.
I really am. Just come home. Come home.
Oh? Yeah, this is Mike Kovac. Where? Lisbon. Oh, yeah. Terry? Why, you clown.
Look, I'm sorry, Mike. I had to talk to you. Look, I'm going to airmail you some negatives. There's a lot riding on them for me. They're dynamite, Mike, so don't take any chances after you get them. Protect yourself, old buddy.
Terry? Hello, Terry.
Terry, what happened? Terry, you still on? Terry?
Operator, this is Mike Kovac. Call Mr. Ross back. Now, if you can't get an answer, connect me with the Lisbon police. That's what I said, the Lisbon police.
With a Camera. Starring Charles Bronson.
It took me 24 hours to get over to Portugal after the Lisbon police called me back. Terry Ross was dead.
Mike Kovac of New York, isn't it? And my apologies for not meeting you at the airport. The paper said you were coming directly to police headquarters. Permit me. Al Alvieja. I'm professional guide and your servant.
Well, thanks, but I usually look after myself.
There are many doors in Lisbon. Al Alvieja can open them all.
Well, you're blocking this one.
My apologies, senor.
We are very sorry, senor, about the death of your friend. It's a long ways to come for a man's funeral.
I didn't come here for any funeral. I came here to finish a job.
A job? I do not understand, senor.
A job that Terry Ross was working on when he was killed. Now, I don't know what it was, but I'm going to find out. I'm going to take the pictures he would have taken, and I'm going to have them published for him.
Aren't you assuming a great deal, senor? Your friend's death may have been a crime of passion.
No, Lieutenant. Terry phoned me in New York. Said he was sending me some negatives. He said that they were dynamite. I think he was killed because of them.
These negatives, did you receive them?
No. I left New York before they could get there. But I asked my father to check my mail for me, and I'm supposed to call him at 9 o'clock tonight.
Senor Kovac, how well did you know your friend?
How well did I know Terry Ross? We were buddies in the war together. We were combat photographers. Well, we carried cameras instead of rifles all the way from Omaha Beach to Berlin. Yeah, I guess I knew Terry Ross about as well as one man can know another.
Then I suggest that you leave Lisbon on the next plane.
Leave Lisbon? Why?
Because it would be better for you, senor.
I don't know what you mean, but I'm not leaving. Oh, don't worry, I won't get in your way.
That is not what worries us, senor. All right, we have asked. You have refused. Then let us talk about this job that Senor Ross was working on and that you intend to finish.
You know what it was?
Yes, we know all about it. The facts are this, senor. For some time now, this city has been the headquarters for a very large and efficiently operated espionage machine, specializing in industrial secrets.
Espionage? I knew Terry was onto something big.
But gathering such espionage information is one thing. Disseminating it to waiting buyers throughout the world is another. So a very simple, yet very clever plan was hit upon. A courier that no one would suspect. In short, a working press photographer.
Now, just you wait a minute. If you're trying to tell me that Terry Ross was that press photographer, you've never been more wrong in your life.
You're entitled to your opinion as we're entitled to ours.
If you knew this about him, then why didn't you blow the whistle on him and stop him?
Because we're after bigger game.
And so am I after bigger game. Let me explain something to you gentlemen. To tell a story with a camera, you sometimes have to stick your neck out. Now, it's happened to me and every other guy in the business. If you're lucky, you come out with your skin and your pictures and you're a hero for one issue of a magazine. But if you're like Terry Ross, a bullet stops you and your pictures and you're a dirty word. I can't let that happen to him. I'm going to prove that you gentlemen are wrong.
I hope you can, senor, for your sake. And I wish you luck. Any help or information I can place at your disposal?
Well, sure. I'd like to go through Terry's rooms at the hotel.
All right, I will get you a key.
Senor Kovac, we meet again.
Big coincidence. I didn't know the Lisbon police allowed loitering around in their buildings.
Well, I'm a very special case. You see, I have connections. It's my stock and trade. Now, when I read in the newspaper that Mike Kovac was coming to confer with Commissioner Castillo, I said to myself, whatever happens to Senor Kovac, it won't be dog.
You're standing in my way again.
Senor Kovac. I knew your friend, Terry Ross.
You should have come up with that answer first. Come on, get in. Boy, this is sure some setup. I never saw a hotel do anything like this for a tenant.
Your friend was more than a tenant. He spent a great deal of his time here. Matter of fact, I think most of his furniture was his.
Well, you seem to have known Terry Ross pretty well. Suppose you prove it.
Terry Ross is dead. How?
That's your problem. You set yourself up as an expert on Terry Ross. All I'm asking for is a little proof before we go any further.
Goodbye, senor.
I guess you did know Terry Ross pretty well. You know, I was a sucker for that trick every time.
He taught me judo. He also told me about his friend Mike Kovac. I could never see that one coming.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I guess you'll do, Al. Suppose we take a look around, huh? Who are you and what are you doing here?
I'm Renee Ross.
Renee Ross? Terry's wife? I didn't know he was married.
How well did you know your friend, senor?
I was packing some of Terry's things when I heard the noise and I got frightened.
Oh, it was Mr. Alviela and myself getting better acquainted. I'm Mike Kovac. I'm sorry I roughed you up.
I would know you from your picture and from what Terry used to tell me about you.
You know, it's funny. He never told me anything about you. Unless he was holding you out for a big surprise. He'd do that. Yeah, that sounds like him. When did you get married?
9 days ago. We had a week together and then he had to come down here.
You didn't come down with him?
No, I had to stay in Paris a few days. My contract with Dior. You see, I'm a model and there was the fall showing and it was necessary to find a replacement. Oh, but we spoke to each other every day on the telephone. Mike, why was my husband murdered?
I don't know. I sure wish I knew the answer, Renee.
Was he doing anything bad?
Why do you ask that?
Well, the police, they picked me up with a plane and all morning long they questioned me about Terry.
Oh, I suppose that's just routine.
Routine? The questions, Mike, were not routine. They made me feel as if I was a wife of a criminal. I knew Terry such a short time, but...
Oh, now, you forget about the police. I spoke to Terry on the telephone. He said he was going to send me some negatives. I'm calling my father in New York tonight about 9 o'clock and find out about them. And I'm sure they'll explain what this is all about. Meanwhile, I'd like to dig up all the facts I can on Terry's activities. I want to see anyone that Terry knew. Can you take me around to his hangouts?
If you don't mind slumming. Terry Ross was a man of unusual tastes.
In a quick succession of nightclubs, Al proved that Terry Ross was a great one with the ladies. And that wasn't what I wanted.
Lili once owned the biggest casino in Lisbon.
And you said you could open any door in Lisbon. If that's the best you can do, you're a fake.
There's one man in Lisbon who would know anything about this.
Well, then that's the man. Can you set it up?
It's a hard nut to crack.
You work on it. It took Al an hour to arrange a meeting in a villa on the outskirts of town. This was the big man of underworld Lisbon, unknown to anyone by name or appearance. But he admitted knowing Terry Ross very well.
Senor Ross was working for us on a very confidential level.
Well, you're the people that peddle all the top secret information that you can steal to the highest bidder.
Did Senor Ross tell you that?
It doesn't matter who told me. It's a fact, isn't it? That somebody in your happy little group tumbled onto the idea that Terry was playing you for suckers. He was going to expose the whole operation with pictures when he was ready. That was why he was murdered.
I am moved by your logic and your loyalty to your friend, Senor. Senor Ross had been with us for some time. He was bought and paid for.
You're lying. Come on, Al!
Stop him!
The next time, you curb your enthusiasm for the realistic, my friend.
I apologize for Enrique, Senor.
Get him out of here.
What are you going to do with Kovac?
The plan hasn't changed. Within the next hour, I'll know whether the missing negatives arrived in New York. Now, if they did, Kovac must be killed. If they didn't, then I'll convince my heroic friend that his cause is hopeless and he belongs in a plane bound for New York. Once Kovac is out of the way, the Ross investigation dies for lack of evidence.
But you cannot buy the police, Senor.
The police can't buy a suspect. Problem solved.
How'd I get back here?
I brought you. After I convinced those people that you were just an impulsive youth that didn't belong at the bottom of the Tagus River.
Well, thanks.
It'll be on my bill. I convinced the gentleman that you'd be much less troublesome in the future if you documented statements. He gave me these photostats of bank account signature cards that Terry Ross signed. Now, the bank accounts will be easy to verify.
What's that proof? Anybody can open up a bank account, use any name they want.
Who would go to the trouble of opening up bank accounts in Geneva, Naples, Madrid, just to prove a point to Mike Kovac?
They could be forgeries.
Your blind devotion to this man is a beautiful thing to see. That must be a New York call. I took the liberty of placing it for you. I knew how important it was. Hello? Yes. Yes, he's here.
Hello? Is that you, Pop?
Mike, such a wonderful thing. I can hear you as if you were in the same room.
Yeah, well, listen, Pop. Did you check my mail?
Yes? I have it right here.
Well, is there any of them with a European postmark on it? Lisbon, maybe?
Nothing, Michael. A few bills.
You sure, Pop?
That's all.
All right, now look. If anything like that shows up, I want you to wire me at the Lisboa Hotel. Lisboa Hotel.
Yes. And Michael, take care of yourself.
All right. Goodbye, Pop.
Nothing?
No, nothing. The negatives must still be here.
If I could prove to you that Terry Ross was actually working for this organization, it would be quite obvious what happened to the missing negatives. His murderer took them after Terry Ross tried to use them as blackmail.
I doubt that very much.
Will you step into the other room with me, please? See, I took the liberty of asking Senora Ross to go through her husband's personal papers. Now, we might find a copy of his signature, and we can compare it to the one on the photostats.
I'm afraid I hadn't had any luck so far. These are little reminder notes Terry wrote to himself, but none of them are signed.
Well, maybe he stored some papers or canceled checks or something in the bedroom. You mind looking in there?
I've been looking through these books. Sometimes a man will write his name on the front page of a book he favors and wants to keep.
Here's one. Let me see those photostats. Well, I can't believe it.
You've got to.
But not Terry Ross.
It's often true that we have a blind spot for those we love. Now, you built a picture of Terry Ross that wasn't entirely true.
Guess you're right, Al. About time I stopped kidding myself. But it's funny. Terry Ross, a guy who could do no wrong in my book.
I'm sorry.
I couldn't find him. What's the matter?
And I'll try to explain. Al, would you do me a favor? Go down to the desk and see if they can get me a ticket on the next plane to New York. And while you're at it, you might as well figure out what I owe you.
I've got a special bargain rate all this month.
You better sit down, Renee. I don't know how to tell you this. I can hardly believe it myself yet. I flew to Lisbon to photograph a kind of eulogy of a friend. I'm going home with an expose of a total stranger. Same guy, Terry Ross.
I don't understand.
Well, you'll learn it from somebody else. I might as well tell you. The police were right about Terry.
No.
No. I've been telling myself that all night. I can't anymore. There's just one question. What do I do about it? Do I break the story and try to salvage what little honor I can for the other photographers who could be tarred by this brush?
Terry said you were his friend. His best friend.
Well, he forgot that before I did.
Mike. You do the story, Mike. The way Terry would expect you to. I love him. No one can change that, even Terry. What is it?
It's a wire. He's right from this bookcase. There's a button on here. A letter addressed to me and a hidden camera. like I was quitting on Terry too soon. This is what we call a remote camera arrangement. You know what it is?
No.
Well, if you want to take a picture of somebody without them knowing it, that they're cagey and suspicious and expect a hidden camera, well, you take a camera and hide it in a fairly obvious place. Like the bookcase right over there. But then you have this remote, this little baby right here, hidden away in a safer place.
You mean Terry knew someone was coming here to kill him?
No. My hunch is he had the hidden camera set up to take these negatives that he was sending to me. The ones the killer came to get. You know, there's a chance that Terry got this guy's picture. You give me a few minutes in Terry's dark room and we'll soon find out. Come on in.
It's a plane reservation, senor. You have to hurry. You just have enough time to get to the airport.
Then you better cancel it.
As I came in, Senora Ross told me about your discovery of the hidden camera and the missing negatives. It's fascinating, the possibilities. But is it worth missing your plane to prove the obvious?
What's that?
That your friend was shot. A dead man can't take a photograph.
Well, he got a photograph, all right. It's in this last negative. We close the door and turn out the light? We'll soon know the answer.
Very interesting. Make a print. Excellent likeness. Unfortunately.
So you killed Terry Ross? Why?
He betrayed me. I trusted him all the time he was working against me.
Now, wait a minute. Does what you're saying mean he wasn't a crook?
He was dishonest. He pretended to join my organization, and all the time his real motive was to expose me. That is dishonest.
And to think you almost convinced me that he belonged to your rotten organization.
And I wanted to disillusion you about your friend so you'd take your plane from Lisbon and forget about the entire matter. Now it's too late. Don't make any fast moves, senor. I might have to pull this trigger. Your friend's widow is in the next room. You'll be very careful. I'd hate to have to shoot her.
What was in the film?
It's a very interesting discovery, senora. We're taking it to the police.
Does it change anything of what you told me?
Renee, you forget anything I ever told you.
Please, senora, look, we must hurry now. The police, you understand.
Whatever happens, or whatever anybody ever tells you, always remember, Renee, that you were right.
You know, while you were in the dark room, I sat here remembering how I met Terry, and I had decided to forget what you said.
Senora, please now, the police, you understand, we must
Shut up. There's not much more you can do but listen. Renee, you had more faith in Terry than I did, and I'm very glad of that.
We can't stand here all night. Let's go.
There's one trick Terry didn't teach you. I saw Terry do that same thing once. Listen, Renee. I'm going to be busy for about an hour here with the police, taking pictures, that sort of thing. If you want to go back and freshen up, I'll pick you up later for dinner, all right?
Thank you for everything.
Maybe we can drink a few toasts to our memories, huh?
bended knee, stay one more day and cover this party for me.
Listen, Ellie, I came to Rome to cover the election. Now that that's finished, as soon as that plane is ready, I'm getting on it.
But the Rogers sisters are special, social meteors. And that party tomorrow's going to be very select. Just the elite. They've been away in Venice for a month. Oh, please, Mike.
Social functions are not my line, Ellie. Oh, for the love of... Betty! Betty, wait!
Hey, watch where you're going.
Sweetie, you know her?
Certainly.
Well, that's wonderful. That's Sharon Rogers.
Oh, it's not. That's... Who?
Sharon Rogers, the girl I was talking about. It's her party. I want you to cover for me tomorrow.
Sharon Rogers.
That's right. That's her uncle and her sister. I must say, you look as if you've seen a ghost.
I have.
Man with a Camera. Starring Charles Bronson.
I airmailed the layout photos on the Italian election to New York for Pop to take care of. And I let myself be roped into photographing a garden party just to see the girl again. Sharon Rogers, or whatever her name was. I don't mind girls popping up out of my past, but I don't like them changing their names and pretending they don't know me anymore.
Oh, there you are, Mike. Listen, sweetie, I'll need plenty of art on the Contessa. She's as old as Methuselah and ugly as sin, but... What are you looking at? Oh, Sharon. She is lovely, isn't she?
I'm telling you, Ellie, she's not Sharon Rogers.
Mike, she is. We went all through that yesterday. And don't tell me you know her. She hasn't even looked at you all afternoon.
Oh, I hope we do. We do.
Hiya.
How do you do?
Look, it's me.
Yes.
Me, Mike Kovac.
Delighted.
What is this?
Really, Mr. Kovac, is it?
You know darn well it is.
You seem to feel you know me, Mr. Kovac.
Feel I know you.
I assure you, you're mistaken. We've never met before. Perhaps you're confusing me with my sister.
Mona?
Oh, I'm sure if I'd ever met Mr. Kovac, I would have remembered him. I'm very sorry. Excuse me?
Ellie, I'm telling you I know her, and that's not Sharon Rogers.
But, Mike, it is. You're confusing her with somebody else. For heaven's sake, boy, don't you read the papers? Those girls are the biggest news since that wedding at Monaco. That's the uncle over there by the pool. That's the secretary with him. Jonathan really tosses it away on those two nieces. Well, never mind, darling. There's the Contessa. Let's concentrate on her.
Not too many. Oh, young man. I'm sorry, but I have a phobia about having my picture taken.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have. You're a good subject.
Oh, hardly. My nieces now, they make charming subjects. As for me, no, I prefer not. Oh, you won't mind giving me the film, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I beg pardon?
Well, Mr. Rogers, it's a phobia of mine never to give my film away.
That's a pity.
Yes, it is.
Excuse me.
Dear young man, I really must apologize to you. However did it happen?
Sorry, Mr. Rogers. It was an accident.
Are you all right?
Well, I could use a towel.
Of course, Barnes. Show him to my rooms. Oh, my goodness, your camera must be ruined. I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Well, don't bother. I know how sorry you are, Mr. Rogers. I got those wet negatives right down to a dark room where an American friend of mine worked in Rome. Well, that does it.
Want the lights?
Yeah. Clear as a bell, not a mark on it.
What's so special about it? And the way you busted in here yelling to use this stuff, I thought you had something real hot.
Well, because of this picture, I was pushed into a swimming pool this afternoon. Mr. Jonathan Rogers made the mistake of thinking that a quick dip would ruin the film.
Who's he, some big shot?
Well, at the moment, he's somebody who went to a lot of trouble not to have his picture taken. Tommy, I want you to do me a favor.
Be my guest.
Put this on a wire photo to New York at your office and mark it for Smitty in the morgue.
He won't be on till morning.
That's all right. Because if anybody has a memory for faces, it's Smitty. Ask him who this guy is, will you?
Excuse me.
Lab?
Yeah, he's here. Just a minute. It's for you. Transfer from the hotel.
Kovac.
Mike, this is Sharon Rogers.
Oh, I could have sworn it was Betty Donald, the girl I met on a transatlantic crossing about 5 years ago.
I'm sorry about that. But after what I did to you in London, I was too ashamed even to speak.
You didn't do anything to me in London. You just didn't show up.
I'd like to explain about that, and about this afternoon. My uncle was furious when he found out I'd been rude to you.
Is that right?
Could we get together soon? Tomorrow, maybe? For lunch?
Oh, what time?
Shall we say about 2?
All right, let's say that at 2.
Goodbye. Please don't hurt him.
Don't underestimate me, my dear. I live by my wits. And may I point out that you live very well by them, too. Only be sure of this. Be very sure.
Of what?
We're almost at the end of our little charade. One might say that the final curtain is about to descend. And neither you nor your Mike Kovac will get in my way.
A date made for 5 years ago at the Savoy Hotel in London was finally kept in a garden near Rome.
My uncle, he says I have to apologize to you.
Well, that isn't necessary.
But I know you must wonder, even about why I didn't meet you in London.
Well, that's one of the things.
Don't you think I wanted to? I couldn't.
Why not?
What we had on the ship was so good. I didn't want to spoil it.
Betty, listen. Betty. Which one of your names is the real one?
Sharon Rogers. On the ship, I became someone else for a while.
You know, I waited for you all day at the Savoy. And all that night, too.
Don't.
All right.
Try to understand, Mike. I owe everything to Uncle Jonathan. Don't ask me to explain. I just couldn't meet you in London. What is it?
Il signore is wanted on the telephone.
I need to know. Would you have met me at the Savoy if you could?
Magnificent. Was I not right, Signor Rogers? Only the skin tones of your niece are for such pearls.
Are you pleased with your present, my dear?
Oh, Uncle, they're beautiful.
Oh, there's an extension in the hall in case your call is private, Mr. Kovac.
Thank you. Hello? Oh, yeah, go ahead, Tommy. I can hear you.
Message just came through from Smitty in New York. It's about that picture I put on the wire.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a photo coming through on the wire now. Smitty said along the caption, too. It shows this Jonathan Rogers, or whatever you call him, being hauled off to the pokey. The date line is Milwaukee, 4 years ago.
What's the charge?
Fraud.
Apparently, he's quite a con artist. Want me to read the list?
No, not now, Tommy. But look, hold on to that print for me, will you? I'll pick it up later.
Okay, Mike. You take care of yourself. He seems to be a pretty smooth character.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, Mr. Kovac, have a look at this. I'm sure you must have an eye for beauty.
Yellow pearls from the Zulu archipelago. Perfectly matched. Signore, there is no other necklace such as this in the entire world.
Sharon, darling, aren't they simply breathtaking?
I think you're mean, Uncle. Mona gets everything.
You're a spoiled little thing. But when you have a birthday, we'll find something nice for you, too. My, personal check will be all right?
But of course. Excuse me. All Rome knows the check of Senor Rogers is good as gold.
65,000 in American dollars, I believe you said?
65,000, Signore. That is correct.
Isn't Uncle an old darling, Mr. Kovac?
Yes, he is. $65,000. That's a lot of money. Even in Milwaukee.
Even where?
Milwaukee. It's a place I know very well. You know of Mr. Rogers?
No, I don't believe I do. Oh! I'm being most unbusinesslike. I think you'd agree, wouldn't you, Mr. Kovac?
Agree to what?
Even in Milwaukee, did you say?
Milwaukee.
Even there, a payment of this size ought to be authenticated.
Pronto, Signore Martino. Jonathan Rogers.
Certainly, Signore Bartolo will want to know that my check is good.
Sure, that will not be necessary, Signore.
Oh, Signore Martino?
Thank you. Would you be so kind, Mr. Kovac?
Mr. Rogers wants me to verify a check of his for 65,000 American dollars. Oh, I see. Thank you very much. The check is good.
Is it all right for me to come to the hotel?
Yeah, it's all right. Come on in. Why did you come here?
You asked me a question yesterday, and I haven't answered it.
Well?
Five years ago, we made a promise to meet at the Savoy Hotel in London.
Yeah, I remember.
You asked me yesterday if I would have come if I could.
That's right.
The answer is yes, Mike.
Well, go on.
I've always known I'd have to marry someone with a lot of money.
Because Uncle Jonathan wants it that way?
He's devoted his whole life to us. We have to do what he wants, what he thinks is best for us.
Tell me more.
All right. So now you know.
Well, just in case you don't recognize the shot, that's dear old Uncle Jonathan being hauled off to jail in Milwaukee. On the back side is a list of his arrests and other names.
I know. Mike, what happened on the ship, that was for keeps. I knew it, and you knew it. That's why I couldn't meet you in London. Do you know what I was on that ship? I was a shill. I pulled suckers into a phony card game. I couldn't pull you into anything phony. Not you.
Sharon? Sharon, what's going on now?
I can't tell you.
Why don't you level with me? Now, that check your uncle wrote yesterday, it's good. I inquired again at the bank today, in case he made a phony call.
Mike, don't question me. Just stay out of it.
Well, I've got reasons for being in. I'm a photographer. I sell stories. And besides, I don't like getting pushed into swimming pools. Sharon. There's another reason. You know, 5 years ago, back there on that boat, I can't get over that.
Mike, listen to me. Jonathan won't let anything stop him now. He'd kill me, Mike, and you too. You've got to understand. Stay out of this, Mike, please.
Stay out of what? Tell me.
Mike, please. Just leave me alone.
Where have you been?
I'm sorry, Jonathan. I hurried as fast as I could.
I'm not interested in your apologies. I've told you repeatedly that timing is of the essence. Now then, are you quite ready?
Jonathan.
I said, are you ready? Do you know your lines?
Yes, Jonathan.
Well, then, come on.
Sharon was frightened of something that was going to happen in the salon of Signore Bartolo the jeweler. I decided to wait.
I told you before, Senor Rogers, another necklace of yellow pearls is almost impossible to find. Each pearl perfectly graduated, each the same glorious yellow. Such a necklace is unique.
You're wasting my time, Bartolo. I told you that I must have another just like it. Little Sharon here has given me no peace of mind at all since you delivered the pearls to Mona.
We've always had everything exactly alike, ever since we were little girls.
And you shall again, my dear. Now, sir, you promised to investigate some special sources?
I have, Signore. I telephoned to Amsterdam last night. I said the need was dire. If there are yellow pearls anywhere, I said, I must have them. I replied this morning.
You found another necklace. Oh, Uncle Jonathan, how wonderful.
You understand, Signore, this is a special source. The price will be very high. Much too high.
How much?
250,000 American dollars.
Sold.
But, Signore, the price is so high.
Sold. Now, how soon can you get them?
Well, I can telephone, Signore. The courier can take the plane to Rome within the hour.
Good. Tell your man to leave at once.
Sì. Pronto? Signor Bartolo chi parla? Amsterdam, sì, per piacere. Buonasera, signori.
Recall an old adage in our business, my dear. You cannot cheat an honest man. That fool's asking 25,000 more than he should.
May I go now, Jonathan?
Go? Don't be absurd.
They argued as they left, and I knew that Bartolo was the key figure in whatever they were planning.
We have met before, Signore. I'm sure of it.
Why, that's some memory. It was yesterday at Jonathan Rogers' place.
Oh, yes, of course. Now may I be of some service to you, Signore?
Go back. And yes, you may be of some service to me, but then again, I might be of some service to you.
I do not understand, Signore.
Mr. Bartolo, you listen to me now. Rogers is a crook. You understand that? A con man, a swindler.
Signor Rogers? Ha, that is absurd.
All right. Here, take a look at this. This picture here was taken in Rome at the villa. That was taken 4 years ago in the States.
Signor Rogers was in prison?
Often, for fraud. Mr. Rogers is a professional swindler. Now, why were he and the girl here a while ago?
Cimpano.
At the airport? What about it?
I'm to be at the airport at 3. Senor, is that true? You are not mistaken?
Well, here, you can call the police and check if you want to. They must have a file on him.
Oh, no, not the police. Please, my reputation will be ruined.
Well, let's get out to the airport.
Senor Kovac, I do not see how Senor Rogers would cheat me. He has already paid me $65,000 for one set of pearls. And now he's anxious to buy another one at a much higher price.
Well, I don't know how he's going to cheat you, but he's going to cheat you all right. Believe me. Now, let's go.
The plane from Amsterdam is already in. The courier will be now in customs.
Bartolo, let me get this straight now. You're supposed to meet this courier and pay him 225,000 American dollars?
For the pearls? See, Senor Rogers himself approved the price. That is why you must be mistaken. He's waiting for them now at the villa.
How'd you get in touch with this guy in Amsterdam?
I have sources. They made it known I was seeking yellow pearls.
Now, look, Bartolo. You mean to tell me this character you've never seen before calls you on a phone and says he has some?
But yes, he's arriving with them now.
Well, how are you supposed to pick him out?
I'm to be waiting for him here. He will find me.
Now I'm beginning to get it. Bartolo, look at these pictures. See this guy in the background behind Rogers?
A guest at the party?
A guest my foot. His name is Barnes. He's Rogers' secretary. At least he was 2 days ago here in Rome.
So?
So look at the fellow. That's Barnes, the courier from Amsterdam. Now look, you act naturally and watch yourself.
Mr. Bartolo?
See?
I'm from Amsterdam. I don't have much time. I have to catch the next plane back.
Did you bring the pearls?
I have. You have the money?
See, Signore, first I would like to examine the pearls.
They're genuine. I don't do business any other way. Are you satisfied?
Perfectly. Senor Kovac! Senor Kovac!
Aren't they? These are the same pearls, aren't they? You sold them back as own pearls.
Yeah. Let me up.
Now, where are the others? Where are the others?
Gate 9.
The others are gate 9. Gate 9.
Facendo largo, per favore, facendo largo. Facendo largo, per favore.
Why, congratulations to you, Mr. Kovac. Well done, sir. Well done.
Where's Sharon?
Andiamo.
We were on the plane, ready to take off for Vienna.
Yes, I know.
I knew we weren't going. I knew it when I saw you at the party.
Why didn't you let me help you? I will now if you let me. Sharon, why didn't you trust me?
It isn't trust, Mike. It's something else. The same reason I didn't meet you in London.
Why?
Because you're a very real person. I'm not.
I'm Mike Kovac, freelance photographer. I got permission to ride around one night in a police squad car because trouble often breaks out during one of these big city heat waves.
Okay, you guys, come on, let's break it up. I'll run you in. Come on, let's break it up. Come on. Get out of here.
Believe me, Mike, this is going to be one of those nights.
What?
Who knows? When it gets hot, people seem to lose their heads.
Well, there's got to be a reason.
The heat's all they need.
It's an explosion you're after. You sure picked the right neighborhood.
Well, then I guess I'll walk around and see who's going to light the fuse.
Good luck, Mike.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
I'll see you. Heat brings trouble. Well, I don't look for trouble. I've got enough of my own. But I do look for emotion. Emotion that puts tension on a face and makes it unforgettable.
Kitten, I saw you. You didn't see anything because there wasn't anything to see. What do you mean, nothing? Oh, yeah, I saw you. You out of your mind. You're ridiculous.
Vanilla, huh?
I just like the rush. I like the name. It's kind of a meaning for me. I got a grudge. Hey, mister, my friend, he talked to you. Hey, you a reporter?
Nah, photographer.
Yeah? Hey, you want to take my picture?
I don't photograph celebrities.
Hey, he's no celebrity, mister. This is a movie star.
Yeah.
Look at her face.
Yeah,
Look at that,
yeah.
Huh? You recognize that?
Hey, what are you looking for?
Nothing, just waiting for something to happen.
Then you're on the wrong block, because nothing ever happens here.
And if anything ever happened here, mister, she'd know it. Let me tell you that.
All right.
Andy. Hey, what's that?
What happened?
Did you see who it was? Did you get a look at him?
It was a man. A man.
A man? What
Man with a Camera. Starring Charles Bronson.
Now get off of that car. Come on, hurry it up. Get off of there. Okay, folks, I'm only going to say it one more time. The show's over. Go home.
Now, can you tell me, was he big or small, or fat or skinny?
Oh, I didn't see him. It was dark, he grabbed me, and I screamed. And that's it. Honest.
Probably went through the alley. Could be in Jersey by now.
Are you sure you don't need a doctor?
All I want to do is get home before my pa finds out. Please.
Well, if we pick anybody up, we'll let you know. You, see something funny?
Riley, there's a joke in here someplace. When I find it, I'm going to really start laughing.
Each got him.
Not me. Her. She wasn't in that alley with a man. It was a woman. They're probably fighting over some guy.
Hey, let's break it up here. Let her alone.
You all right?
I'm all right, Pa.
What happened?
Pa?
I asked you what happened.
Pa, they're looking at me and my dress is torn.
All right, what are you all gawking at? That's what I want to know.
We got a right to be here. It's a public street.
No, who asked you, Mrs. Know-it-all?
Ah, going back where you came from. Go
You know something, Joe? I think she would have been better off if she stayed with the guy in the alley.
You mean Phil Pike would have been better off?
Yeah. Yeah.
Phil Pike, huh? Well, what do you know? It's about time if somebody asks me.
Oh, yeah, and even if they didn't ask you, you'd tell them.
Yeah.
There was no man in that alley with her. But there was another woman.
Carmen, I'm your brother, and I got a right to know.
Dark, I can't
No, for a smart-looking guy, that's a pretty dumb thing for you to say.
Yeah. Maybe it sounds dumb, but it was another woman.
I want to know who did it.
A man.
Look, Carmen, I'm your brother, and I got a right to know.
Dark, I couldn't see.
You're lying and you know it.
Oh, look, Pa, it was bad enough. Now let me alone, huh? I said I don't know.
Supposing I say you do know, and so do I.
How can you know if I don't?
It was Phil Pike, wasn't it? Huh? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, it was Phil Pike.
We have to go into that again.
Look, all you got to do is say it wasn't Phil Pike, just say it wasn't him.
I said I don't know, and that ought to be enough.
Well, it ain't. I've got a good memory. I should have torn him apart that time on the roof. This wouldn't have happened.
Nobody can talk to you. Nobody.
Look, all you've got to...
Let go of me.
What are we going to do, Pop? What?
I don't know. We'll do something.
You got ears. You heard Carmen say it was a man.
All I know is what I saw.
You better get glasses, picture taker.
What I can't understand is why this Phil Pike? Why him and not you or you?
Hey, if you knew him, you wouldn't ask such a dumb question. Hey, Joey, will you tell him? Tell him. Yeah, because he's a troublemaker and a wise guy, and everybody hates him.
There are a lot of guys like that, but you don't accuse them of grabbing a girl in an alley.
Look, we ain't accusing anybody. She is. All we're saying is it figures. Right, Manny?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, what'd you do there? You took his picture? Hey, did you you said you didn't want his picture.
I didn't until I got a good look at him.
Hey, it's pretty good.
Alone, Pop. Let me have just 5 minutes alone with him, huh?
Once and for all, he's going to learn.
Maybe the action. Let's go.
Hey, Phil Pike's apartment's over there.
What are they going that way for?
Oh, big, brave man. They gotta talk first. They gotta jump up and down like wild Indians.
Well, that's good. Maybe they'll talk themselves out.
Well, maybe, but if they don't, Phil better start running. And you know something else? He deserves everything he gets and then some. Oh, boy, the things I could tell you. Hey, you know, last week you went out with that...
Fill me in later, will you? Fill me in later?
Yeah, but listen, I want to tell you...
And I'll tell you something else. I bet you 10 to 1 he gets away with this just like he got away with everything else, too.
Jake?
Yeah?
Jake. You got a kid. How'd you like to have something like this happen to her?
Well, she's living in Jersey with her mother. That ain't what I ask you. Look, I ain't denying he's no good. I ain't forgetting the squeeze he put on me. Hey, you guys, you remember?
What? Remember what?
How much the plate windows cost, he asked me. Yeah, like I don't know the rat's gonna throw a rock through if I don't pay up.
Oh, well, he's a real fink. Are you kidding? That bum owes me from 2 World Series ago.
Sure. A guy like that in the neighborhood's... Well, it's like a sickness.
Yeah, like a real mad dog.
Well, I got plenty to pay him back for. Just stuff that me and him knows about. What's he doing here?
He's taking pictures.
Go take him someplace else. I told you to get lost.
Well, maybe you didn't tell me loud enough.
Well, maybe you can hear this, wise guy.
You better not miss the first time.
Hey. This is none of your business.
Taking pictures is my business. You know, Bert, you've been doing a lot of screaming. You scream at your kids. You scream at this hot-headed bunch here. You've been screaming so loud you wouldn't know the truth if it knocked you over. Well, the truth is your daughter was in the alley with a woman. It wasn't a man, it was a woman.
My sister said it was a man that jumped her.
Well, she was wrong.
You're lying about my sister.
Don't you come any closer. There's one more step and I'll throw this right through your head.
Come in. I thought you were the boy with the beer. Don't tell me. You're the photographer.
Well, that's pretty obvious.
Sit down. I don't need no camera to tell me who you are. Nothing goes on in this neighborhood Phil Pike doesn't know.
Yeah, well, maybe you know that your neighbors are working up to tear you apart.
Bunch of blowhards. Westerns. I watch them all.
Mister, I just left that mob. They're boiling.
Let them boil.
Well, unless you want to get roughed up, you'd better call the police.
Cops? That's a good one. Cops. Who needs them?
Well, I think you do.
I can handle them, Buster. I don't need anyone.
You have it your own way.
That's the way I always have it.
That's a picture of what you used to look like.
Give me that camera.
Suppose you come and get it.
Two things I don't like. Cops and photographers.
I don't like strong-arm guys, and I don't like guys that work protection rackets. Mister, I don't like you.
There ain't no woman or little girl that's safe on the streets as long as Phil Pike is around.
You're right!
Hate like that can strike anybody.
Why doesn't somebody stop it?
Nobody can stop it.
Well, a 10-cent call to the police will. Operator, this is Mike Kovac. Would you call the police and have them send a car down a 4th Street between 9th and 10th? There's a mob out to get a guy. That's right. Thank you very much. Pop, this is Mike. Pop, I haven't got time for a health report. Here's what I want you to do. Hop in a cab, come down a 4th Street between 9th and 10th, and make it as fast as you can. That's right, 4th between 9th and 10th. Now hurry, Pop. Say, do you mind if I leave my case here?
Sure, leave it.
Well, you're not taking any chances, are you?
I only hope you ain't taking too many chances.
Don't worry about me.
All right, that's enough talk. Who's going to fix Phil Pike's wagon? Huh?
Okay, what's going on here?
Going on here? Yeah, we got a call you were after some guy.
No, we're not after nobody, no.
Well, what are you hanging around the streets for?
We all live around here, officer. Every one of us.
Yeah, every one of us. All right, break it up.
Okay, come on, let's move.
Stay around here for one here.
Are you going to do anything?
Like what, Mike?
Well, whatever you do. I don't know. Listen, they're after a guy called Phil Pike. They think he roughed up that girl.
You know where he is?
He's in his room. But I talked to him a while ago, and he won't ask for protection.
Well, until he does, or unless somebody attacks him, there's nothing we can do. That's the law. Can't arrest him for sitting on stoops.
We'll have the cop on the beat look around when he gets this way.
Did you tell them it was a woman?
Oh, I told them they won't listen.
Well, neither do you, Mike. You'd keep riding with us.
Police.
Bob, take this film back, develop it, and make enlargements and get back as fast as you can.
What are they?
Never mind, just do like I tell you.
Are you in trouble?
No, Pop, do I always have to be in trouble?
You don't have to be, but you usually are.
Just do like I tell you. Driver, take them back to where you picked them up.
I'll hurry.
All right, fast as you can.
Who called the cops?
A fink. How do you fix a fink?
Let's show him.
Come in.
I'm all right.
Come in, please. Go home. Wherever you live, go now.
Listen, old man, that's what everybody does. They all go home and they pull the shade. Somebody's got to stay here and make them see where they're wrong.
Yeah, but why you?
Because I've got a weapon. I've got something to fight back with. Pictures, old man. Pictures for the whole world to see. That's something they can't hide from. A mirror for them to look into.
Hold it! What are we wasting our time here for? Phil Pike is the one we're after. Come on, let's
Give that girl Carmen. Maybe I can talk some sense into her.
Oh, it won't do any good. But go out my back door, around the block, and then behind her building, there are stairs.
Thanks, old man.
Only don't get caught in an alley. They get even braver in the dark.
What, you hiding?
You found me, didn't you?
You know what's happening down there on the street?
Shaking fists, calling names like always.
No, they've gone past that stage. They've picked out a pigeon, and now they've got him cornered.
So what?
So all you have to do is get down there, tell the truth, and it'll all be over.
Not for me, it wouldn't be over.
What about Phil Pike?
Well, what about him? You think he ain't got it coming for that night on the roof? Not that anything happened. But you think he ain't got it coming for all the lies he told me?
Carmen, maybe he's got a lot coming to him, but not this way.
Well, it's none of your business.
I saw you in that alley with a woman.
That's a lie.
What are you afraid of, Carmen? Afraid that your father bought the lie, now it's gotten too big for you?
I'm not afraid of my father.
That woman that was in the alley, somebody the whole street knows, I'll bet.
I'm not afraid of you either.
A married woman, married, and you were fooling around with her husband.
Well, nobody's gonna do nothing to me. Nobody's gonna catch me. You'll go away. Please go away.
All right, Carmen, I'll go away. But that woman better show up before Phil Pike starts bleeding, because you'll never be able to hide from that.
It may look quiet, but it ain't.
Did they go up to get him?
Mm-hmm. The whole rotten gang of them.
Well, did you call the police?
Mm-mm. Not me they're after.
Oh, lady, how many times I've heard that and how many times I've seen them come to get you next.
I never touched her. You know it, Bert. You know it. You know it.
You got it coming, Phil.
Somebody do something. Call the cops. Somebody do something.
We're the ones that are gonna do something. Right, guys?
Come on, Bert, bell him. Jerry, you tear him apart. Somebody else kick him and jump on him when he's down.
What are you saying? I never touched her, I swear.
What's the difference? The girl's just an excuse anyway.
That's a lie.
It's the truth. Every one of you is looking for an excuse to hit somebody. And Carmen's lie is as good as any.
Don't listen to him.
You're right.
Why can't one of you be honest? Just one of you. Why can't you own up to what's really eating you? What is it, huh? Your job? Your wife? The heat? Or can't you stand living in the rut that you dug for yourself?
No, it's him. For what he did to my Carmen. We all know that.
Yeah. Except me, Carmen, and Phil. And the woman that tore into Carmen.
He's right. You gotta listen to him. I didn't do anything.
We're not listening. Come on!
Mike, you all right?
Give me the pictures, Pop.
Who are these people? What happened?
Here, I'll tell you later.
Bert! Bert!
see something. You recognize that, Bert? Huh? That's a rabble-rouser. Everybody look at it. It rants, and it raves, and it foams at the mouth. You see that? But mostly it hates. And it brings out the hate in everybody else. And when they start hating hard enough, then they've just got to knock somebody down, Bert. Anybody. Yeah. Oh, yes, and it has kids that grow up into a glob of spite that not even a vulture could stomach. That's you, Jerry. Manny, I've got one for you. This is a yellow-bellied bootlicker. You ever see him before? You know what he does? All he does is ride around in the swamp on the back of a gang fighter. A gang fighter. You ever see him before, Joe? Huh? You recognize the beady eyes? And the sweat? You know where he hangs out? In the middle of a mob, Joe. Yeah. He gets real tough when the odds are about 10 to 1. Yeah, you laugh. Well, maybe this will wipe the smile off your face. There's a picture of the shade puller. You know what a shade puller is? It's the kind of a person that hides and lets everybody else do the job for them.
You tell him, buddy. You tell these rats good.
What makes you think I forgot you, huh?
What are you talking about? I'm the guy they're picking on.
You know my heart bleeds for you. It bleeds so much that I took a picture of you, too. There. That's a perfect replica of the loud-mouthed big shot. The kind of an animal that tramples through neighborhoods stepping on the little guy so that he can feel a little bit taller. That's you, Phil. Now, why don't you take it up to your room and hang it on a wall, huh? Hey, Carmen. I got a picture of you here, too. Here, you want to come over and get it? Or you want me to nail it to the lamppost for the whole world to see what a weak-kneed whiner looks like? Here. And the others, Carmen, I want you to take a good look at them. Because whatever is rotten in them, you help bring out. Oh, hey, lady. Pop, give me the camera.
Yeah.
Hold this. You know, I need your picture to make my set complete.
No.
Let him take it. You started this whole thing, and you deserve all that's coming to you.
Well, he's my husband, you know, not hers.
Over nothing. Absolutely nothing. Me and Carmen took the same subway home from work a couple of times. I bought her a cup of coffee a couple of times. And you had to make a big thing.
I'm sorry. I said I was sorry.
To her. Say it to her.
I'm sorry.
Look, I suppose I should have showed up sooner, but all I heard about was Phil Pike. I nearly missed hearing you say it was a woman.
I'm glad somebody heard it.
Come on. Let's go.
Carmen, why'd you let me do it?
I was afraid, Pa. Afraid of what you'd do.
Afraid.
Would you believe me? Believe that nothing happened?
No. Next time I will.
Looks like it's gonna rain, Pop. And boy, I'm tired.
You'll go home. I'll make some tea. One question. These are strangers. Why did you mix in?
Because I found something out, Pop. People do the craziest things when it's hot. Frederica!
Man with a Camera. Starring Charles Bronson.
I'm Mike Kovac. What I find exciting about being a freelance photographer is that quite often danger flies right into your lap. Like this girl, Frederica Rojas, did. An airplane, a daughter of a European millionaire, a sense of curiosity, and I was in trouble.
Gentlemen, please. I think you've taken enough pictures of Miss Rojas.
Yes, I agree. That's all the pictures for tonight.
Dr. Kohlberg, is it true that Miss Rojas is here to shop for a trousseau?
How long is she going to be in the States? And is Mila Rojas going to join her?
I really couldn't say.
But she is engaged, isn't she?
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I cannot answer any more questions. When we get settled, we'll call a press conference.
A little courtesy, please. You must realize Miss Rojas is very tired after her long flight. This way, please.
Are you all right, my dear? Have you taken a pill in the last hour? Good. Please, no more pictures.
Well, I don't want this kind of a picture anyhow. My name is Mike Kovac, Dr. Kohlberg.
How do you do?
See, I want to do a series of pictures with Miss Rojas around New York City. I wired you in Lisbon about it.
Oh, yes, but I'm afraid it's quite impossible.
She might enjoy it. You know, first trip to America, maybe a shopping tour or just sightseeing.
Please believe me, Mr. Kovac. It cannot be arranged.
Many Americans are interested in her. Besides, she'd make a beautiful subject for a photographer.
If you forward your request to our hotel, the Park Ritz, we will consider it.
All right, I'll call you in the morning.
Very well.
Very persistent, these Americans.
Oh, yes. Now, well, if you looked at the luggage, Frederica and I will take the limousine. Frederica.
Where did she go?
Mr. Kovac. You wish to take pictures of me, no?
Sure, I want to take pictures of you. But what are you doing out here?
I'll let you take those pictures. But first you must do me a favor.
Oh,
No, please.
go ahead, I'm listening.
Take me with you now.
What?
But I'll explain. Only not here.
All right, my car's parked right over there on the left. Come on. This is my car, Miss Rojas. Now, whoa, wait a minute. Not so fast. Suppose you tell me what it's about first.
Well, I want to see New York, Mr. Kovac, and I want to see it without supervision. All my life, I'm surrounded by people who watch me. Every hour of every day, they tell me what to do, who to see, what to say.
Well, now look, you're the daughter of Milo Rojas, mystery millionaire of Europe.
I want only to be myself, to come and go freely.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, like any American girl, as I've read from your magazines, to go to a movie, to see the sights. What would you propose for me? Coney Island, Times Square at night.
I'm beginning to see now.
Then you'll do it, Mr. Kovac?
Well, you tempt me, Miss Rojas. But you know, if you're missing for 24 hours...
I don't care.
You're just like I thought you'd be, too. The daughter of one of the richest men in the world, engaged to the second richest. And, of course, you're spoiled.
If you don't agree, Mr. Kovac, I'll go by myself.
Hey, what's wrong?
I'm sorry I troubled you.
Well, you sure know how to bait a hook.
Then you'll do it?
Well, I don't want to see you roam the streets alone, especially at night. I'll do it for 24 hours. Come on.
already 10 o'clock. We must find her, Wells. She was entrusted to our care. But where to look? She doesn't know anyone in New York, her first trip here.
Doctor, a man like Milo Rojas has many enemies.
Abducted? We are diverted for a moment and she disappears. No. I don't think she has been abducted.
Perhaps amnesia.
Perhaps. I must tell you, Wells, in her condition, anything is possible. At any moment. You've seen her take these pills. They've been vital to her for the last 3 days. She has now only a 12-hour supply of them. Afternoon tomorrow, her life will be in grave danger.
Well, I didn't realize that. Oh. Do you suppose that Miss Frederica does?
Possibly more than I have told her.
Then we have bungled, Doctor.
Yes, and I guess the police will have to be called in after all. And her father must be told. His reaction will be most explosive. Give me the police, please.
All units, a missing adult. Last seen at International Airport at 9 p.m. Subject is a female Caucasian, age 26, height 5 feet 4, weight 110 pounds. Dark hair and eyes, wearing gray tweed suit. Name Frederica Rojas.
I won.
Well, you're pretty intense about it, aren't you? But for another penny, I'll knock your bluff.
No, I want to try everything. All the contraptions.
Frederica? You know, this really isn't the kind of a place that a gentleman brings a lady for entertainment.
But I like it here. I want to be here. After all, there's only enjoyment in the moment, and well, life is only made up of moments, don't you think?
Sure.
What are they eating?
That's cotton candy.
Cotton?
Well, it looks like cotton, tastes like sugar.
I want some.
Oh, now, let's not overdo it. There's always tomorrow.
No tomorrow. Only today.
See, I told you, you're overdoing it.
I'm only hungry. I'd like to try all your exotic American foods like hot dogs and hot tamales and chili.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Maybe we better build up your stomach lining first. And besides, Frederica, it's getting late. We ought to think about putting you up for the night. Sure you don't want to go back to your hotel? We got a problem. Oh, I know. You ever eat kapusta?
What's that?
Well, it's a peasant dish. We can get some on Elizabeth Street. A place called the Shea Kovac.
Wonderful.
A universal dish. You want some, Michael?
No, Pop. I stuffed myself before I went out to the airport. He always makes enough to last a week.
Eat, Miss Royas. I like a woman who eats with heartiness. A good appetite means a full life. I want to talk to you, Michael. You excuse us, please, Miss Rojas. She's a nice girl, my son. About time.
It's nothing like that, Pop.
Huh? Tell the old man, Michael, huh?
Now, Pop, she's got a problem, and I'm helping her out with it. That'll be over by tomorrow night. You don't have to worry about it.
Trouble?
No, it's hard to explain.
Police?
All right, Pop, I'll tell you. She's the daughter of Milo Rojas.
Who is Milo Rojas? Milo Rojas, who is acquaintance to kings and prime ministers and has big business all over the world.
The same.
Now, how does the son of Anton Kovac come to the daughter of Milo Rojas?
Well, the camera's my magic carpet. You know, this is her idea, Pop. For me, it adds up to an exclusive picture story.
Oh, I see. But for overnight, will she not be missed?
She'll be missed, all right. But I'm beginning not to care, Pop.
Miss Rojas disappeared about 9 o'clock last night. It is almost 2 o'clock today, and frankly, we are worried. The official reason given for Miss Rojas' visit to this city is that she was to shop for her trousseau. That was only partially true. Actually, and of extreme emergency, Miss Rojas is ill. She has glaucoma, a serious eye disease, and an iridectomy was to be performed on her eyes today by an American specialist. She's in grave danger of going blind, and worse, forgive me if I sound melodramatic, but her life may also be in jeopardy.
Is she aware of her condition?
Aware, yes. It may even be the reason of her disappearance. I have prepared some typed statements of her condition.
Now, the police have been unsuccessful in locating Miss Rojas. We're asking for the cooperation of the press. Give it the full treatment. We must locate Miss Rojas. Are we going on radio and television with a direct appeal to her or to anyone who might know where she is?
What about this 12-hour supply of pills mentioned here?
She's subject to headaches, nausea, and dizziness, and they offer her temporary relief. Her supply is gone by now. She could have, literally, a blinding headache, a bad fall, even blindness. It is this we must avoid, and therefore asking for your cooperation.
Have you contacted her father?
Yes. Milo Rojas is flying in from Lisbon.
Now we're doing everything that can be done, Dr. Colbert. We'll find her.
Please, before it is too late.
I think we have been overdoing it. You're out of pills.
It doesn't matter. They're only vitamins. Well, just like Americans. Pills for everything.
Sure. Frederica's fling was about over. The papers were carrying the news of her disappearance. And it was time we got away from the crowds, where she would soon be recognized. Frederica? See that down there? Going across the river?
Hmm?
That's the George Washington Bridge. And over there, all that over there is New Jersey.
It's breathtaking. Your city is beautiful.
Yeah, it has its beauty spots. But it's got its pockmarks, too.
In this place?
It's just a nice, quiet place where you can hear yourself think. Frederica, what are you running away from?
Running?
Well, come on now, aren't you?
Mike, take me in your arms. Hold me close.
Look, Frederica.
You're a very nice person, Mike.
Yeah, I'm also past that romper stage. And you're, well, you just better take it easy, because it's hard for me to remember you're engaged.
I don't care. There's only now.
Now is followed by later.
Could you love me, Mike?
Now, you wait a minute. Somebody's got to keep their head here. You know, you're the daughter of Milo Rojas.
I don't want to think about that now.
And you get away from a place like this in the cold light of day, and I'm just Mike Kovac, a working stiff. It's just not in the cards. To you, I'm some sort of an escape, and I wish I knew what it was.
Mike, for the first time in my life, this moment, I'm myself.
Meaning you're away from the guy you're engaged to?
Oh, he's older and a friend of my father, and it serves my father's purpose. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. But I just can't buy it, Frederica. You want to cram a whole lifetime into one little minute. For me, a lifetime is forever. Maybe I can explain it a little better. You see, we're worlds apart, you and me. And I'm the kid from the other side of the tracks. Oh, what's the use of rolling out all the old cliches? It just adds up to no go.
Mike, hold me.
Oh, please, you're not going to pull that again, are you? That feigning doesn't work twice.
Mike, please, listen.
You always get what you want. If you can't buy it, you wheedle your way. If it's not money, it's charm. If the charm doesn't work, you decide to faint. You know what you are? You're spoiled.
All right. I won't bother you anymore. The guided tour is over.
You're darn right. Now let's get out of here before we're both sorry. I'll take you back to your hotel. Glaucoma.
You did not know this?
Oh, no. I must be the only one in the city that didn't.
After 9 o'clock, who wants pictures? Now, I see who it is. Michael, some people to see you.
We're here because your magazine called us about the pictures of Miss Rojas, which you submitted. Where is she? You were obviously the last person to see her.
You know, I just learned about this. Sure, I saw her. I was with her. But I left her off at the hotel hours ago.
She didn't arrive, Mr. Kovac. Please.
Did you see her go into the hotel?
Sure. Well, no, wait a minute. She got out of the car and then she ran off. And naturally, I thought that... You mean you don't know where she is now?
Mr. Kovac, you're aware of Federico's condition.
Well, I am now.
Would you accompany us, please?
Where to?
To the hotel.
What for?
Milo Rojas has just flown in. He would like to talk to you.
All right, I'd like to meet him.
This is Mike Kovac. We will wait outside.
How much do you want for my daughter's return?
I was afraid you were going to say something like that. Money solves everything.
How much?
I'm not a kidnapper, Mr. Rojas. Your daughter hasn't been kidnapped. She's running away. No wonder she's so confused with a father like you who puts a price tag on everything. It's not how does she feel, but how much to get her back. You can't buy her welfare, Mr. Rojas. It hasn't worked so far. You've even destroyed her will to live.
Did she tell you that?
I figured it out, and it won't cost you 1 red cent. This phony engagement of hers to suit some big deal of yours. Sure, you care for her, all right. She's a prize package, isn't she? And that's about all she is to you.
I want her back before it is too late. Frederica means a great deal to me.
You know, looking back, now I can understand why she's half out of her mind, rebelling against her illness and you, at the possible cost of her life. She's trying to hurt you, Mr. Rojas, just as she's been hurt.
You seem to have learned more about her in 1 day than I have in a lifetime.
Well, let's just hope she's found before it's too late.
The police are looking everywhere. Do you have an idea where she might be?
Well, I've got a hunch.
Where?
I said it was just a hunch and no more. Now, am I free to go or am I to be held?
Go, and please, Mr. Kovac, find her.
Frederica! Frederica, no. How is she today?
She's asleep. The bandage will be removed tomorrow.
Mike?
How do you feel?
I'll be fine. Mike? I'm sorry I was such a burden to you.
Oh, no. You weren't a burden.
Can you come and see me again?
Every day.
Mr. Kovac, I too wish to thank you. You may be interested to know that she's no longer engaged to the Baron.
Well, I'm sure glad for her.
Yes, Frederica seems happy, Mr. Kovac. Happy with me and with the special sort of world she was born into. It is not easy for a man like me to say this, but thanks to you, I have discarded a possession and discovered a daughter.
What are your plans now?
We'll return to the continent as soon as she's able.
Mike.
Goodbye, Frederica. Good luck.
In the magazine, Mike, you don't show the picture of the Vespers.
I wanted to keep at least that.
Pardon. It's time, darling. I'm sorry. Can't we get some...
This is one I owe you.
I'm not leaving here without it, and I mean that.
Come on now, Joe. Why don't we just go along the way we have?
I'm sick of going along. We're going to end this thing here and now. And then what?
You go to the police?
I can't do that, and you know it.
Maybe I better make sure.
You can't afford to shoot me. Why don't you stop bluffing?
He's right, Randolph. We've had it with him. Let's cut it off. I guess this is really yours. You've paid enough for it.
Stop, thief!
The envelope.
Wait a minute. What happened? Sounded like shot.
Out the other way. Don't let anyone see you. Get going.
Man with a Camera. Starring Charles Bronson.
I'm Mike Kovac, photographer. Sometimes I'm on my own, freelance. Sometimes I'm hired to do a job. Once in a while, it's just a favor for a friend. And rarely, it's for someone much less than a friend.
Out! Look, Mac, take it easy. Will you, Kovac? This is only a social call.
I don't socialize with you. Out!
Look, Mike, why don't we bury our little petty differences, huh? I'm willing to bury the hatchet.
Why?
Well, I need a little favor. Look, now, before you blow your top, the favor ain't for me. Joe Clemmer was killed a couple of nights ago, right?
So he was caught in the act of burglarizing. What do you want me to do, send flowers?
Look, it was a bum rap. Joe wasn't robbing that house.
Frankie, what are you trying to tell me? Joe was always robbing our house.
Look, not since his wife left him 5 years ago. Joe was left with a kid. He couldn't risk being sent up. He's been going straight ever since.
What's the difference? So he got it the one time he was innocent. It makes up for all the times he was guilty and got away with it.
Oh, boy, you guys killed me. You're all alike. A grifter's a grifter 24 hours a day. The fact that he was a good father or maybe a good friend, this means nothing, huh?
You're breaking my heart, Frankie. What about all the people who are all this and they don't rob houses?
Look, Mike, there's an angle on this. The insurance company had a clause in Joe's policy that said there could be no payoff if he was killed pulling a job.
Oh, that's tough. What do you want from me?
Look, Mike, I know you don't like me. And I know you felt the same way about Joe Clemmer. But you gotta prove that he wasn't robbing that house when he was killed.
Go to the police, Frankie, the police.
The police, are you kidding? A two-time loser gets shot just trespassing. Mike, this case is not only closed, it was never even opened.
Frankie, I don't want any part of it.
I dropped something.
What is this?
Marcy Clemmer, I'd like you to say hello to your Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike?
Go ahead, Mr. Kovac. Tell her what you think of her father. Tell her how you can't help her collect that insurance.
What's she doing with a crumb like you?
Well, when Joe went, I had her put in a home for kids. I just borrowed her for the day, you know, friend of the family. Show the kid a good time.
We're going to the beach. You want to come to the beach with us?
I'd like to very much, honey. But for the next couple of days, I'm going to be awful busy. Chasing wild geese. You say you used this door?
I imagine so.
It doesn't look like it was forced at all.
I rarely lock this door since it's only glass. A child could get in it with a rock.
Where were you?
I was upstairs. I thought I heard somebody walking around here.
Did you call the police?
No. I felt half sure it was my imagination. When I got down here, he was standing by the open safe.
Well, what happened then?
When he heard me, he turned and ran out the French doors. I hollered to him to stop. When he didn't, I fired.
Could I see the safe?
Certainly.
You know, Mr. Paxton, I hate to bother you like this, but when Lieutenant Donovan asked me to get a picture story of the crime, he said you wouldn't mind.
Glad to help.
Was there anything missing?
No, actually, I keep nothing of value in there. Just a few personal papers, insurance policies.
That's a strong-looking safe. You say it was open?
It was open.
It's closed. And there's no case to reopen. And another thing. I just had a call from Paxton. Seems I sent a photographer out to his house today.
Yeah, well, I figured you'd say yes if I had asked.
Next time, ask. Let's drop this whole thing. Clemmer was a crook caught in the act. Period.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Donovan. Tell me, when was the last time you had Clemmer in for questioning?
About 5 years ago.
There, you see?
I don't see anything. A lot of the boys lay off after they served a stiff one. Usually they get back to work sooner or later.
What do you have on this killing?
A householder shoots a well-known criminal in the act of robbing his house. What's to have?
Who's Paxton?
A lawyer.
Any connection between him and Clemmer?
Not that we know.
Well, Donovan, will you do me a favor, please? Find out everything you can about Paxton.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, the picture that Clemmer tried to burn when he was shot. Could I borrow it?
Tried to is hardly the word. He succeeded pretty well. Here's all that's left of it. Looks like a shot of a window. Too bad there's no people in the picture.
What do you suppose was on it? And why did he try to burn it?
Probably something incriminating. Felt he was going to die, was protecting somebody.
Okay, thanks, Donovan. If I turn anything up, I'll let you know.
This isn't like you, Mike. A guy like Clemmer, what makes you think he wasn't robbing that house?
Paxton said the safe was open, right?
So?
So you look at Clemmer's record. He's a pretty good second-story man, all right. But he wasn't a forger, and he wasn't a counterfeiter. And he was no more a safe opener than you are.
So he was never an iron worker. What does that prove?
Well, it proves that if Paxton says the safe door was open, he might have been lying. If he was lying about that, he might have been lying all the way.
Mike, I hope you know a lot more about Clemmer than you know about me. I can open a safe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I got the fragment of a picture that he tried to burn. It may not mean anything, though.
Well, if there is anything to it, I'm sure you can figure it out, Mike. I got faith. And remember, little Marcy's got faith in her Uncle Mike, too. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be in touch.
Hey, Frankie. What's this about little Marcy?
Huh? Oh, I was just kind of saving that as a little surprise for you, honey. You know, after all, you haven't seen the kid since you was a baby. I didn't want to get your hopes up.
Yeah, well, try me. My hopes haven't been up for 10 years. It might be nice for a change.
This Joe's insurance policy, it's worth 20 grand, and he didn't change his beneficiary. And you, his widow, can still collect.
That why you've been sticking around so long?
Oh, come on, honey. You know better than that. Besides, it's not as easy as it sounds. There's a little joker in it.
Oh, sure, there always is.
It seems if Joe was killed committing a crime, the policy was not collectible.
Yeah, but the paper said that...
I don't know about that. I don't get it. Why should Joe, after all these years, start housebreaking again?
Well, that's exactly what he was doing.
What? Hey, wait a minute. Whose side are you on? You almost sound as if you don't want to collect that money.
I don't. Look, Frankie, why don't you just leave the thing lay? All you can do is rake over an old scandal.
Scandal schmandal, honey. There's enough money here to set you up nice and respectable in a nice big house. And a pretty good slice for me, too.
Oh, yeah. It'll set me up in a big house, all right. On a short-term lease.
Yeah, but I thought that...
You thought? Look, Frankie, I got a theory. A guy who spent half his life in stir has forgotten how to think. Now get on that phone and call off your dog, or you'll be sending me straight to the chair.
Kovac here. Oh, hello, Lieutenant. Turn up anything?
I don't know whether it means anything or not, but Paxton was a lawyer. Actually, he never practiced. He was tied up with a private eye outfit, the Paxton Randolph Agency. Paxton quit about 5 years ago, sold out to his partner Randolph, and retired.
Was there any connection between him and Clemmer? No? Well, if you do turn up anything, let me know, will you? No, I'm shooting the chart fragment now, then I'll blow it up. I'll send you a copy. Yeah. Okay, goodbye, Lieutenant. The fragment was sharp and clear and blew up beautifully. But all it showed was an open window and a view of the city beyond it. The buildings with a New York skyline from across the river. I recognized the bridge. I had to find one room across the river. There could only be one room with a window that looked out on the bridge with precisely that view. Come on in.
Hiya, Mike.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I'd like to have that picture and the small one, too.
What are you talking about?
All bets are off. You can forget the whole thing. And I'm sorry I...
Wait a minute. What do you mean?
Oh, something came up. I found out the cops were right. So if you don't mind...
Yeah, I mind. I mind like crazy. What's the matter with you? Besides, this is police property now. All right, Frankie. All right. This is acid, Frankie. That 38 won't stop me that cold. You pull the trigger, you leave here without a face.
You grabbed for the first bottle that was handy, Mike. I gotta take a chance that it ain't acid. Put it down. Put it down, Mike.
All right, take the pictures.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't make it to the street. Turn around. Move, Mike.
It had been the worst kind of grind. First, I had to prowl the streets to find a spot facing the bridge. Then I had to talk my way into about 50 buildings to check the angle. But it looked like I'd finally hit it. Yeah, this could be the room, all right.
$2.50 a night. Although it ain't usually the view that sells this. Mostly they feel the bed. Go ahead. Feel the bed.
Well, I really don't want the room. I just want to talk about it.
3 flights up and the elevator out of whack. That's a long way to go for a little conversation.
All right, I'll take the room. Yeah. It's a half, 1, 2.
You'll get a good night's sleep. Those beds.
Never mind the beds. All I want to do is talk about the room.
$2.50 don't buy a heck of a lot of conversation.
10.
I ain't the desk clerk, son. I own the place. Owned it for 40 years. I got enough stashed away that probably I could buy and sell you. And I didn't make my pile taking bribes from total strangers. What's your name, son?
Mike Kovac. What's yours?
Cartwright. So now we ain't strangers. What's on your mind?
Anything unusual happened in this room lately?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
That's not what I meant. I meant any fights or anything like that.
No, not lately. Oh, but we did have a Lulu right here in this room about 5 years back.
What happened?
Salesman out of Ohio got himself knifed.
How'd that happen?
Well, I ain't sure. He was with a woman. Police figured it was the Badger game. And when he got wise and squawked, she put her scissors in him. Police never found her.
Can you describe her?
Sure, but it wouldn't do you any more good than it did the police. If I was to say she had dark brown hair, brown eyes, about 5'4", nice figure, what does it mean? Fits 10 million women.
Any distinguishing marks?
2 eyes, nose, mouth.
You're a big help.
Glad to hear it. I didn't make my pile taking money for nothing.
How did you make your pile?
Uncle died. Left me a bundle.
The janitor grumbled, but I talked him into giving me the key to Clemmer's place. The police had already made a thorough search of Clemmer's apartment, but they were looking for stolen goods. They didn't find any. I was looking for something to connect Clemmer with Paxton. I was glad Clemmer was the type who never threw anything away. In a pile of his papers, I found a canceled check made out to the Paxton and Randolph Agency, and it was endorsed on the back by Paxton. All it proved at the moment was that Clemmer had once used the services of the Paxton and Randolph Agency. His robbing Paxton's house could be a coincidence, but I didn't think so.
Would you care to try for best 2 out of 3?
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was a woman.
Where's Joe?
Who are you?
A friend.
Yeah, he must be a pretty good friend for him to give you his key.
I got lots of friends.
Well, you have one less friend than you thought. Joe Clemmer was killed a few days ago.
Now you see why a smart girl plays the percentages.
Yeah, I see. And since it's about time for dinner?
Why not?
That's fine. I know a quiet little place across the river.
No. I mean, by the time we get through the traffic, we will have wasted the best part of an evening.
Yeah, you're probably right. Anyhow, I have to stop uptown and see a friend. You don't mind, do you?
Any friend of yours.
And every Saturday, we always go to the country, except if it was too cold or raining, or if Daddy was too tired. There's something wrong with the car. You know, we hardly ever got to the country.
Oh, Mike, she's wonderful. Who is she?
Joe Clemmer's little girl. I was sure you two had met.
Is she going to have to stay here?
Yeah. See, her mother took off about 5 years ago. And the father...
Did he leave her anything?
Well, he tried, but the insurance company has a legal out. A policy is uncollectible if the subject was, deceased during the commission of a felony.
What will happen to her?
Well, she'll stay here until she's 18 years old. Then they'll put her out into the world broke. No friends, no relatives. You can see the kind of a chance she'll have. And you know...
I know. If anyone knows, I know.
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure, honey. You'll have to pardon us, girls, Mike. It seems our noses are getting shiny.
I was pretty sure she was Clemmer's widow, even though the picture was 8 years old, and she'd been through a lot since. She could also be the girl in that hotel killing. But that still didn't buy me the connection I needed between Clemmer and Paxton. I could only hope the sight of Marcy would get to her.
The lady's gone. She said to tell you.
Yeah, okay, I'm coming. Where is she? Where's who?
Clemmer's widow. I've got to find her before she gets herself into trouble. Now, where is she?
Oh, she's in so much trouble, she won't mind a little more. I don't know.
All right, Frankie, all right. You don't want to thank you for the way you used this last night. No, I mean it now. Didn't even raise a lump on my head. You know, a less careful man might have made a bloody mess of it. Take me, for instance. I'm real clumsy. I learned how to use one of these things in the Army. And the general idea there was not to be so careful. Now, Frankie. Tell me, Frankie. What was Clemmer doing at Paxton's house the night he was killed?
Paxton was blackmailing Joe.
For what?
Well, let go and I'll tell you. Well, when Kara left Joe 5 years ago, Joe hired this Randolph Paxton agency to get some divorce evidence with pictures.
Did they get him?
Sure they got it, and then some. When they busted in on Kara, she was just pushing the scissors into her boyfriend. He was drunk and he was getting out of hand. Randolph and Paxton got their pictures, and they've been blackmailing Joe ever since.
I thought that agency split up.
Well, that's just for the record, but Kara told me they're still working together.
Why would Joe pay to protect the wife that ran out on him?
On account of his little girl, I guess. I guess Joe didn't want her growing up to be the daughter of a murderess.
If he was willing to pay, then why did they kill him?
Well, I figured Joe, he just got tired of taking the food out of his kid's mouth and told him he wasn't going to play no more.
Now I got an idea where Marcy's mother went in such a hurry. Lieutenant Donovan, please.
Well, listen to the little mother. Where were you for the past 5 years when the kid really needed you?
Well, I can make it up to her this way. It's not too late.
I'm afraid maybe it is too late, Kara. I'm afraid you've run clean out of time for everything.
Oh, listen, I'll make a deal with you. All I care about is the money for my baby. If you just put $20,000 in a trust fund for it.
What now? Well, we can't let her go. You know, once she was a woman. Sometimes you can trust a woman. But now she's all mother. Why, she'd leave here and she'd go straight to...
But you'd be a fool to use that gun. Got nervous neighbors. First sound of the shot, they'd be right over here.
He's right, Al. We're going to have to take him quiet.
Turn it up. All the way.
Here. That the burglar, Mr. Paxton?
Exactly. This man
is working for me. Who was she, Mike?
She was Joe Clemmer's widow.
What's the story on Clemmer?
These two guys were blackmailing. You can tell the insurance company that he was killed during the commission of a crime, all right. The only difference is, he was the victim.